And now, back to PTR Radio.
I made a little list of some of the things that you discussed. Bestiality, abortion, AIDS, Irishmen who drink, nuns, premature ejaculation, breastfeeding, and farts.
This is PTR Radio.
You know, it's funny. When you play the intros and the music, every week I can barely hear you guys over the music.
Oh, well.
And I'm sure it goes fine to the stream. I'd like to think.
I would hope so. God, I hope so. But now, see, my dog is pissed right now because it's 10 after 6. And normally, sometimes you can hear her in the background barking her damn head off. But I'm sure tonight, everybody's going to get their fill of Bailey going, hey, I know it's 20 minutes early, but I could eat now. I could eat now if you just let me upstairs. I could eat now. I know it's 20 minutes early, and I'll complain in an hour because I'm still hungry. But
yeah, now, luckily, the mama was out with one of the dogs at the vet, and I heard the puppy start barking during the intro, and I'm like, this is not going to end well. She just got home. So.
Yeah, you got lucky on that one.
Oh, yeah.
So, but no, I did. I took the rig out on a big expedition that we had a huge night Saturday night at our local convention center, which is well, it used to be called the Prairie Capital Convention Center. Now it's called the Bank of Springfield Center because they had to pay the bill, so they needed to sell, the naming rights. Which, if anybody wants to buy the naming rights to the PTR Radio Springfield studio, feel free to send a check. This could be like the Heartland Credit Union recording studio.
Heck, rename the show for all we care.
Yeah,
it was a big enough check.
PTR Radio, brought to you by Merlin Muffler. We don't care. All right. 8-Man Studios, brought to you by Dave's Famous Hot Dogs. I mean, we'll sell anything.
You know what the funny part is? There is a Dave's Famous Hot Dogs in my town.
I know. That's why I said it.
Okay.
Hey, buy local. That's what I tell people. So, anyway, we have some new toys for the studio. Now that I'm done with my big event, I was able to do a little bit of tweaking on the box. So now, I know we discussed it a little bit on the last show, but let's say we want Mike to be front and center. I can do that.
Don't do that.
I can do that. Or if Colin's going on a tirade, I can make Colin go front and center. Or we can go back to the Brady Bunch. And all without having to turn. So, we still have all the fun stuff that we used to have, and now we just have a little bit more. So, anyway, if you want to get in touch with the show, you can always tweet at us at PTR Radio, or you can join in on our Facebook comments. That should be up now. Or you can text us at 217-787-0232. We do check text messages during the show as well.
Yeah, you should. That's really cool looking. You should really pick that up and show it to the camera.
Yeah, so this is our new little Elgato Stream Deck, and what you can't really see because it's hard, but there's previews of all of our camera feeds on the top row. So it's not just like a picture of Mike. No, it's the camera feed of Mike. So it's really nifty.
Yeah, the toy's not coming up over here.
Okay.
Just FYI, but that's okay because.
Well, you know what? That could be because I made another change to the studio, which maybe will let us get through the night without you getting disconnected or going all pixelated. So I replaced the router here at the office.
Okay.
And I got a whole more 4 gigs upstream, or 4 megs of upstream bandwidth. So nothing to shake a stick at, really, but
Well, I rebooted everything just before I connected, and I was at what 300 down and 30 up before I connected. So
yeah, we were pretty close before the studio to 280 down and 26 up. So if we can't do a show on that, then I don't know what we need, because we should be able to do like two or three simultaneous shows.
We should. All right, so yeah, whatever you did kind of broke the thing. So now I got to figure out how I'm going to watch the.
So anyway, but yeah, I had a big night at the convention center, and it was pretty fun, actually. So we had 126 tables. Most of them had 10 people at them. Occasionally, we did have a few more than that. We had a couple with 12, which were instantly disqualified, and then we had a few more. So it wasn't it was a good night, but it was a long night. I started my day at 5 a.m. or no, I'm sorry, not 5 a.m. I started my day at 10 a.m. and I got home at 1 a.m. That makes for a very long day.
But that's like the main fundraiser for them every year, right?
Yeah, it is. So it's definitely a good cause.
So we're getting feedback now of sound.
Yes, and it's horrendous, isn't it?
Mike sounds fine, and we're weak.
We are weak. I mean, there is nothing new about that. I mean, we are very puny, and we all know that. And thank you for pointing it out.
Well, I've got a sign outside the door that says "Welcome to the Gun Show." I'm just saying.
There, Mike. I just sent you a link to try.
What did you?
For the toy.
Oh.
So all right. I will see what I can do about boosting us higher.
Okay.
Higher and higher.
Yeah, he's already increased the gain on us, which means that, any time we click our teeth together, we're going to hear it.
Yeah. Pretty much. So Mike and Colin, speak.
Woof! Woof!
That is my French bulldog impression.
So there is a new dog in the extended family.
Okay.
Yes, another rescue. It's a Australian, like a miniature Australian Shepherd, or small.
Okay.
It is not a toy dog.
Okay.
Brother-in-law wanted a dog that he could run with.
Fair enough.
So I think it's a dog. Yeah.
It's definitely a dog. Reminds me of the joke. Yeah. What do you do? I'm a business analyst. What does that mean? Yeah. You are a business. Yes, it is a dog.
Yeah, let's see if that. That's a dog. See, dog.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, we mini Aussie. Okay, so you were in the ballpark. I get it. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could tell you that thing. I could tell you one thing, okay? Having Tyson the puppy, the pot cake, I am my wife and I are both convinced that we will never own a puppy again. Because neither one of us has the patience for it most of the time. He's 9 months old now. Had to have his baby canines, top and bottom, removed surgically because they wouldn't fall out. Thought that would be the end of him chewing stuff. And not just like toys and sneakers and stuff. He chewed the bottom step in our back room. like took the carpet off of it, started gnawing down the wood. So when he finally does stop chewing, I'm going to have to rebuild steps. So luckily, he's damn cute. Okay, this is a little scary here. Okay, so Mama Blair, wow, that's a lot of Facebookage happening there. Wow. No, that's all right.
No, this is not all right.
It's not going away though.
No, this is very horrible. No, this is horrendous. This is a bad night for me.
Now it looks like Mama Blair and I are making eyes at each other.
Mike, funny ears.
Funny?
No, it's
Oh!
too late.
Damn, it's gone. That's it. You know, I'm a little disappointed here. Teresa's like, yeah, go now. It's like, send this again. Watch. Ready? Next time, go rescue a senior dog. Yeah, Teresa, for such an avid fan of the show, I'm surprised that you don't remember that 2 years ago we did do just that. The 10-year-old lab, now 12-year-old lab. I can hear me swallow with a tiny bit of tinny feedback. I don't even know how to take that. Poor Shaggy, man. He just doesn't know what to do at this point. He's like, it's like I'm going back to Crime Stoppers. I don't need this shit.
This is why the Crime Stoppers people did not want you to update.
They said, yeah, you got good news. Yeah, no, don't you dare. It's in the contract. Don't do it.
So did you watch the game yesterday, Mike?
You mean the thing that happened between commercials? Yes.
Yeah.
Sort of.
If you could call it a game. I was very disappointed when there was actually a touchdown scored, because I was like, this game does not deserve to have a touchdown. It should be the Super Bowl that had no touchdowns. But they didn't even do that.
Yeah, that would have been. For everything that I watched, the people that were most upset about that game were the Saints fans, because they felt like they could have done that. The Saints could have done better. The way the Patriots were playing, the Saints probably would have destroyed them. The Rams were just. So let's talk about the commercials while Shaggy's trying to fix this here. Yeah. So I think possibly my favorite was the Stella Artois commercial.
Yeah, I'd been spoiled on that one. Today showed it like a week before. But yes, that's a great commercial.
Well, I saw just Sarah Jessica Parker. I didn't see Jeff Bridges in the version that I saw. So that was a nice little surprise.
Today was the entire commercial.
Oh, today. Okay, I thought last week I saw
on the NBC show today.
Okay, I had not seen that. I purposely did not go looking for Super Bowl commercials ahead of time this year. I tried to just, watch it live during the game. But that one was pretty good. I thought the Bud Light one was actually interesting. I'm not going to say it was good, but as a Game of Thrones fan, I thought that was a pretty unique tie-in.
Oh yeah, that was good. I think the corn syrup one was a colossal mistake. Because
they actually mentioned the other brand?
No.
Or
So have you looked into this at all? What was going on during the game? Okay, so for one thing, the corn marketing boards were yelling at Bush about that. Hey, we're just down the road. Come over and we'll tell you all what's all great about corn. But here's the bigger problem. Miller Coors, which is really the same company, so they're doing just one company in that whole thing. They do not use high fructose corn syrup in anything. They do use regular corn syrup, and no one has any complaints about regular corn syrup. It's the high fructose corn syrup that people are yelling about. Okay. And they use that during the yeast to feed the yeast to make the actual alcohol without affecting the taste.
Okay, so they use that as opposed to like malt extract, which a lot of ales and stuff.
Exactly, or in addition to some of that. Now, Anheuser-Busch, on the other hand, they use rice to do the same thing. But the bigger problem is that there are many Anheuser-Busch products that use high fructose corn syrup, not just regular corn syrup. So they were really opening themselves up to getting attacked for having the bad types of corn syrup, while saying that these other ones have corn syrup. Basically the same. It's just Caro corn syrup. That's standard corn syrup. That's all that's in the Miller Coors products. So it's just interesting. Why would the 5,000-ton gorilla of American beers be attacking the little guys? It'd be like McDonald's attacking Burger King. And just why?
Okay, so I saw a little bit of this commercial, and hopefully we're sounding a touch better now. We're gonna have to get feedback from Mama Blair on that one. But I saw a little bit of that commercial, and Budweiser uses rice in theirs, but you're right, they do use corn syrup, high fructose in some of their other blends, and that didn't make any sense to say, hey, this one of our product doesn't have it, but these other ones do, and we're going to make a big deal about that. And I mean, it's just like, who cares? I saw the one comment, who cares?
Yes.
What person that's drinking light beer cares if there's corn syrup in it or not?
Well, and that's true. And I thought that Miller Coors actually played it off well by saying, we've never paid for a Super Bowl ad, but thanks for putting us in one.
Yeah,
exactly.
Teresa writing in saying she liked the Microsoft one with the game controller. Yes, I thought that was a very good one as well. I'd seen variants of that commercial before, but never in that much detail. And I thought that was great.
Yeah.
That would sound good now. Yeah.
All right, good. We just, Colin and I are yelling in each other's ears, but we can fix that here. So that's all right. That's all that I care about.
And, rice or corn, body stills. But see, that's the thing. The sugar doesn't actually make it into the final product because it's used as food for the yeast, and the byproduct of that is CO2.
Yeah.
And alcohol during the fermentation.
Yeah.
So that's where
alcohol is sugar.
Right.
So, no matter how you get to it, alcohol is sugar. So it's silliness. Now, if you want to have more commercials with the Bud Light Night, I'm sure they could have come up with a better way to do it. Yeah. Which it's kind of like they said, hey, we want more commercials with the Bud Light Night. We're out of ideas. How about a wrong delivery? And they're like, well, what can they wrong deliver? I'm like, what? Huh?
But now the Bud Light Night is dead.
See, I haven't watched a whole lot of them, so I don't know. All I did was I saw him get struck by lightning. That was it. So,
well, they had two because they had the one with the Trojan horse where they were talking the beer recipes, and that's one where Colin was talking with the corn syrup. They had the one where the corn syrup got delivered. Actually, that's the one he's talking about.
Yeah,
delivered to the wrong kingdom. But they also had one with the Bud Light Knight at a jousting contest, and he got knocked off his horse tremendously by the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
And he wound up crushing the Bud Light Knight, but then the dragon comes in and burns everybody down. And it was a tie-in between Bud Light and Game of Thrones. But at the very end, the Bud Light Knight was flattened.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I think he's done.
Well,
at least within the world of Game of Thrones.
Fair enough.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of like, I guess I'm weird, but Geico's been rerunning their commercials lately.
Yeah.
They do Geico Best Of. And so, like, the other day, I saw the Hump Day Camel Mike commercial. Yep. And I'm like, you know what? At least they're smart. They're not spending any new money.
No.
They're just playing their greatest hits.
Minimal. I mean, they're buying the airtime, but that's...
They were going to do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no new development money,
Right. But I thought that was going to go somewhere. I mean, I thought the whole Geico thing was going to end up as something big at the Super Bowl, but they didn't even have a commercial, so I'm not sure what was going on.
Wow. I don't know. It's.
Let's see what else. What other news did we get? Audi is going to be all electric by 2025.
As long as
2029.
As long as you die first.
No.
That commercial did not make any sense.
I was just hearing that there was disappointments all around with the Super Bowl. Now I was out of town, so I didn't watch any of it, and I've been burning the candle at both ends since then.
Well, as we said, the game disappointment abound for the game. The biggest controversy with Nipplegate 2019.
Yeah, that's that was a weird. I mean, it wasn't unheard of, or I don't know how they couldn't see it coming, but yeah, between that and like pillow and curtain comparisons, because evidently when he first came out, he was wearing a shirt or something, and it was
pillow.
No, it was like a very popular line at like Walmart or Target, and so you get all these people that are taking pictures of their pillows up to the TV sets and going, why is he wearing a pillowcase?
Yeah.
So, Entertainment Weekly posted about how there's a double standard and everybody's in uproar because he showed his nipples, and Janet Jackson got in trouble for that, was banned for... My response was, does it matter since... there's no such thing as gender anymore.
Well, he's been shirtless on The Voice, so if he could do it on The Voice, anyway, it's just the kind of silly things that people will like to yell about. I think the bigger problem was watching the halftime show. Is if a song sung by or rapped by someone, I'm not sure what thing was, the work of art, not the singer.
Well, hold on. Before we move on from Nipplegate, all right, I'm just gonna throw this out there right now. Currently, for the United States, there are 4 states which outlaw women being topless in public. All right, there are 3, 6. You get the tiny little ass states. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There's 15 states where it's ambiguous what the law actually reads about women being topless. The rest of the country has top freedom laws in effect. Okay, meaning women can go topless in public.
Just not on TV.
So the question is, if the majority of the U.S. says, hey, no big deal, all right, then why do we make it a big deal when it's on television? I actually heard a fact the other day. National Geographic has published more pictures of breasts than Playboy.
Yes, and someone actually admitted in National Geographic recently that they did that because they were able to get away with it.
So,
not because there was any real scientific reason to do it. To the point where they would actually get like tribes in Africa to take their tops off so they could take pictures of them and put them in National Geographic.
well, were they going around to college parties too?
No, because they're National Geographic.
Yeah, there were tons of questions about that the halftime show didn't make any sense together. You know, they just threw this random mishmash of people.
So what I was saying was, they actually had to bleep out a lot of the lyrics from one of the songs. And the question is, if you know that you're going to have to bleep it out, why did you have him do it in the first place?
Why'd you approve it? Yeah. Because all that stuff is vetted.
Yeah.
Everything's approved. You know, it has been for years. So why did they approve it?
Yeah.
And was this Maroon 5 song or was it one of the rappers?
It was one of the rappers.
Of course.
It was Travis Scott's.
So,
have you seen the picture where apparently Travis Scott fell off the stage?
Oh, yeah, that was intentional. At the end of his song, he fell backwards into the crowd.
Okay.
Because security was all right there to, like, make sure that's how he got off the stage.
Ah, okay. Because it was like someone's cell phone photo of someone who was in the crowd taking it, so I didn't have the context. I didn't really pay attention to that part.
I was very disappointed when the other guy, Big Boy from Outkast, came out in his Cadillac. I was very disappointed that he only did like one verse of that song, because that song actually happens to be one of my favorite songs, and Kim got mad at me because I started rapping along with it when he started. She's like, okay, this is bad enough. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it more. I'm like,
yeah. Well, there was also...
I'm drinking and having fun.
There was also a big brouhaha about SpongeBob, you know?
Yes, because they had that one little clip that was thrown in there. It didn't dawn on me until after, when I was reading comments, that little clip was supposed to be a quick nod to recognize SpongeBob's creator who passed away.
Except
and
for...
I don't know what
the
deal
is?
was. Like,
so,
why...
Well, because there was a big SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob, Squidward, Patrick, and a bunch of the other Bikini Bottom folks actually had the halftime show at a Super Bowl, and they played like a "We Are the Champions" type, you know, song, and 1.5 million people signed an online petition, or 1.5 million bots signed an online petition. Since the creator of it died of ALS, complications due to ALS back in November. You know, they thought, well, this would be perfect. That was one of his favorite episodes that he ever did, and you know, it'd be perfect to honor him. Granted, I kind of agree that the majority of people would not have gotten it. All right. But if you do want to ingrain yourself with the youth, all right, with the quirky youth who like that kind of thing, then dedicate the 2.5 minutes that the song is and do it right. Or at least do it and get the freaking lyrics in there, and don't just play the opening 5 seconds of the horn solo.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. Don't half-ass it if that's what you're going to do, because you just pissed them off at that point. And that's worse than not doing anything.
Well, speaking of that, I have not found anybody else online that has noticed this. And I thought maybe it was just me. The thing ended with Maroon 5 doing Moves Like Jagger.
Yeah. Which there was... You could take bets on what songs they were going to do in a melody.
But I don't think they ever said Jagger. I think they went out of their way to never actually say Moves Like... Every time they got to Moves Like, then they'd do something else. So they never said the word Jagger when they were singing Moves Like Jagger at the Super Bowl.
Well, and I loved everybody saying, well, what does Adam Levine think he is? Some SoundCloud rapper with all those tattoos. And, you know, somebody else was saying, those are too perfect of tattoos. They must be rub-ons. And, you know, all kinds of other stuff.
No, those...
Because
he takes his shirt off way too often for those. They're obviously tattooed.
I know. It's just these are people that don't.
Yeah.
They didn't like Maroon 5 being picked in the first place.
No,
and
because
so
nobody
they
else
were
agreed.
Never gonna be happy.
There's only one act that should have been there that people would have been happy with, and that is Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah. Who can complain about Weird Al?
Yeah.
Who's less political than Weird Al?
Exactly.
Although I am in the Weird Al camp. Let me just say that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of friends on Facebook that every year it's the same freaking thing that they want Metallica.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
No.
Look, here is the problem. And this is exactly why Weird Al will never be able to will never get the halftime show.
He won't, yes.
The problem here is that the halftime show is nothing but a giant marketing issue or a giant marketing tool. Pepsi pays a lot of money to sponsor that halftime show. They want a return on their investment. They are going to pick the most popular acts that they can get.
Yeah. What if, because we know that Weird Al has occasionally, we know that whatever the Super Bowl halftime show is, it's got to be a collab, right? They're going to bring in multiple artists. Because ever since, forever, it's been that way now. What if Weird Al and Weezer got together because they did it for a video? All right. So they might as well do it again. And Weezer just plays the new Teal album that they came out with. And they make everybody happy because it's just cover songs. Mike, have you heard this? Weezer put out an album of covers because their cover of Toto was so successful, which would be like once you've made it as an act, and your people actually know your own songs. The last thing you ever want to do is go back and do covers again, right? Unless it's like a really iconic cover, like unless you do like Metallica's "Whiskey in the Jar" or something like that. No, here's the songs that Weezer did covers of.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Teresa, been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. He was the halftime show in 2009.
Yeah. And Bruce could
And
sell
I
at the
didn't
stadium
think
by
it was
himself.
great.
He doesn't need a football team.
I honestly didn't think it was a great show.
That's why doing the halftime show for Super Bowl is a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Because for most of these acts, it's not a good place for them. What they should do is have Cirque du Soleil come out and do a show.
Well, and I think that the halftime show is basically a 5-minute concert now.
Yeah.
Right? 5 to 10 minute concert.
It's exactly 15 minutes.
Okay, so they're trying to cram in as much as they can. Mm-hmm. They have the sets, they have all of it. I thought that theatrically speaking, not talking about the music or the performer themselves.
No.
Theatrically speaking, I thought Lady Gaga's was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Katy Perry's was okay.
I thought hers was pretty good.
Left Shark forever.
I think Left Shark stole
That's
some
right.
of the show. But,
Fun fact, Right Shark, the one that knew the moves, is actually one of the backup dancers on Lip Sync Battle now.
Mm. But okay, so here's the track list from the new.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Now she's changing it up. The Spice Girls, that's not going to happen. They couldn't even get all 5 of them on for a reunion tour.
And then throw
Willie Nelson. only if the Super Bowl is in Denver, the Mile High City.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Evidently there was recently a Willie Nelson All-Star American. Here it is. I'm trying to see if they got a set list. So they did a Willie Nelson tribute concert. It's going to be coming out here on TV at some point. It was recorded for A&E, and Here are some of the guest artists who came out to celebrate the 85-year-old. George Strait, Chris Christopherson, Emily Lou Harris, Jimmy Buffett, Jason Isbell, Sturgill Simpson, Eric Church, Chris Stapleton. I know that he ended the night. Willie Nelson ended the night singing with George Strait, and that was the first time the two of them had ever been on stage together. Evidently, since it was a recorded event, it wasn't like a regular concert where it's like 2 or 3 hours. Evidently, this was like a 6-hour concert. Because I heard about it from somebody that actually went, and they said it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. Dave Matthews was there. They're like, you would never get all these stars together again to come and play.
No.
So, and they were in one of the executive suites because this was in one of the football stadiums.
Now, do we know where the Super Bowl is going to be next year? Did they decide that already?
I don't know. But I was having a discussion, and they're like, well, this, even if the Super Bowl was a bust this year, it's not going away anytime soon.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay. It's going to be in Miami.
Oh. Maybe they can get Will Smith.
No. Billboard has already put up a poll asking who should perform at 2020's.
Well, that's not going to go well.
So, let's see. Actually, no. No, they do have a vote, but here's what the article is saying. Taylor Swift, who could bring in a ton of guest folks, you know that.
But she doesn't need it.
No. Rihanna.
Nope. She turned him down this year. She's not gonna take it next year.
Nope. Pink.
I think same thing.
Pink would be great. She would put on a great, theatrically speaking, she would put on a great show. I think she's an excellent singer.
Yeah.
And she does a lot of that Cirque du Soleil aerial type stuff in her concerts.
What? I'm
Black Eyed Peas. Honestly,
Hold on. I'm looking at a different list than you are, I think. Or are you skipping around?
I'm kind of skipping around. Why?
Okay, because I'm looking. So it starts at Justin Bieber, Rihanna, Garth Brooks, Pink, Manila Luzon.
Yeah, I was reading through the article.
I'm just going through the poll choices. So Kanye West, Janet Jackson, Taylor Swift, Cardi B, Metallica, Rent, the cast from Rent.
Okay, listen, Manila Luzon.
Yeah.
That is I didn't know that name.
Yeah.
That is the name of one of the RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars.
Okay, no.
So you got about as much chance as Weird Al.
Or the cast from Rent. Drake, EXO, BTS.
BTS is a K-pop band, and so is EXO.
Okay. Queen and Adam Lambert.
I should have done that this year.
Yeah.
With the Bohemian Rhapsody buzz, that might have been able to get away with it.
Yep.
Kanye West, yeah, he ain't gonna do it.
No.
Cardi B ain't gonna do it. Janet Jackson, if Janet Jackson did do it, she better come out just wearing pasties.
Did you hear what Cardi B played last that she's getting crap over?
Oh, the pregame?
No, she played the AVN Awards.
Oh no. That was before. She did all these interviews talking about how she had to sacrifice all this money because they wanted her to come on and do the Maroon 5 song that she collaborated with them on, Girls Like You. She turned it down because she stands with Cap. I wasn't going to cover this because I didn't want to breach the whole Kaepernick thing, but she appeared in Pepsi's Super Bowl commercial. And she did the Patriots pregame party concert because the Patriots owner was up on stage dancing with her. So she's okay taking NFL money if it ain't really the NFL, as long as it's like NFL adjacent.
Well, okay, now I heard that actually you don't get paid for doing the halftime show. You pay them. You actually have to pay to perform at the halftime show.
Oh, I find that hard to believe. I could understand maybe you don't get paid just because it's such exposure, but I find that hard to believe that you pay to be the act.
Free press, it doesn't need to pay the people. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here we go. The halftime show is a big deal, so big of a deal, in fact, that the NFL seems to feel that the free press means that it doesn't need to pay the people who perform. While the acts are not paid to perform, the NFL does shoulder the cost of producing the show and picks up other expenses, according to Fox Business. Okay, so you're right. So they don't get paid, but they don't pay either.
Well, the NFL doesn't pay.
Right. Let's see here.
They may get paid by Pepsi, who sponsors the halftime show.
So,
and look, I'm sure these guys are smart enough. These recording artists are smart enough that
evidently the NFL approached Katy Perry initially and did ask her to pay to perform. Early negotiations included her paying, but she said that's where I draw the line in the sand. I want to be invited on my own merits and not with some fine print.
I can't blame her on that. And so Mama Blair says, Blair wrote in.
The NFL does ask bands to put down some cash if they want to perform at their event. They at least asked Katy Perry to pay, but it doesn't look like they've ever been paid by any halftime performer.
They ask it, they ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? If you never ask, you can never be told yes. You know.
You know what? Here's another band. I think the Foo Fighters.
Well, you know,
I think they would be.
Did you know, the band that everybody loves to hate? They did Superman and not Daughtry. I'm sorry, the other one that everybody loves to hate.
Nickelback.
Yeah, did Nickelback ever play?
No. Yeah, okay.
Well, okay, so everybody hates Nickelback, but Nickelback is a hugely successful band.
I can't say I hate Nickelback. I just never really listened to Nickelback. But speaking of other, recently I've gotten into Halsey. She'd be really good on Super Bowl.
Let's see here. Nickelback is worth an estimated $100 million, with Chad Kroeger alone holding a net $65 million. Yeah, boy, everybody hates him. I mean, nobody buys their albums, evidently. $100 million. I'd love to be hated that badly. Please, somebody hate me. $100 million worth.
Yeah, okay, but here, all I'm going to say is this, and then we can move on to some of the few topics that we have here, right? A lot of these bands, the big thing is not record sales anymore.
No.
Like if you get your, and I'm sure touring they get decent money, but it's licensing. They make money. It's when you write a song. You know, Jewel made one album, and she kind of changed it up where she got more of a poppy feel and stepped out of her comfort zone with folk stuff. She recorded one song called Intuition, and that song just happened to coincide with Gillette, or was it Schick, one of the razor companies, releasing a ladies' razor called Intuition. She retired not long after that because they licensed the song to use in the commercials.
Yeah. So here are
commercials,
The 9
Video
ways,
games. Okay, go ahead.
Here are the 9 ways, according to Rolling Stone, that musicians actually make money. Okay, T-shirts and merch. All right, there's a huge, potential payday to almost $250,000 per show. All right, is a potential. Movie and TV licensing, like you were talking about. All right, potential anywhere between $250,000 and $600,000. About half usually goes to the performer, and the rest goes to whoever owns the publishing rights, like you said. Fashion lines, if they have them, is mostly, but it can be a potential $15 million payday. Okay, perfumes, believe it or not, $5 million or more. Bieber has his own perfume line. Startup investing, all right? It's all over the place, but Bono, Justin Timberlake, other people like that, Bono invested in Yelp and Facebook. I think that's probably doing pretty good for him now.
Probably.
Now he also invested in Palm, as in like Palm Pilot. That was probably a bad idea.
Yeah, but didn't they also have an investment or a deal with Apple?
I think he might have. Yeah,
because they had the U2 edition iPod, and then there was that whole snafu where everybody, like YouTube's album got pushed to everybody's iTunes without their permission.
Smaller bands make money on Kickstarter and YouTube and instant concert recordings. Evidently, the Fish, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Pearl Jam make up to $5,000 per show in instant concert recordings. And then talk show bands, being a band on a talk show.
Yeah. So what they're saying here is, I listened to the autobiography of Roger Daltrey, and he was talking about like when they were touring. He was like eating paying no money out for food. He was just like eating like pot of noodles and stuff because he wanted to get this. He wanted to have as much money as he could out of this tour. And then he get back and he's like, "Okay, so where's my check with the money?" And they're like, "Oh no, there's no money. It was all spent on paying for all the hotel rooms that were destroyed by Keith Moon." So it's interesting. You're going through. It's like, oh, for the first several years, like they were not making any money touring.
Yeah.
And so they were making the money off the albums, but that was it.
But that's changed since we don't buy albums anymore.
So nowadays, the money is in songwriting. There is no money in anything. I mean, all this other stuff. That's great, but the real money is in the songwriting because the songwriter gets a cut of absolutely everything, where the song singer doesn't get much.
Yeah.
That's why all of the really successful people are people like Adele who write their own songs.
Real quick, just to wrap this up, and then we'll move on to something else. I mentioned the Teal album by Weezer. The tracks on that album, Africa, obviously. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, Take On Me, Happy Together, Paranoid, Mr. Blue Sky, No Scrubs, Billie Jean, and Stand By Me. And just about every one of those, I've heard this album, but it's the same, man. It's like a carbon copy. I don't know how they do it, but they adjusted to every one of those songs.
Yeah.
It's not like a Weezer take on the song. It's like they re-recorded the song. They didn't adapt anything. So the only thing, obviously, No Scrubs, you got a gender swap on that. So male vocals does give it a little bit different of a listen.
For some reason, that's a thing right now. So Jonathan Colton is doing a similar thing. He has a new album coming out called Some Guys. And he's doing exact covers of 70s soft rock songs. I don't know why, but he is.
You know, it's not often that we get off on rock chat. Normally, it's movie talk. So, speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about, at least, I don't know, have you guys been watching The Orville at all?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm very, very behind, but
okay, so
feel free.
So this is season 2 of The Orville, and I'll tell you what, this season is Mike, do you agree it's different than season 1? I mean, they are concentrating so much, I think, on the personal stories this time around.
Yes,
and
I agree.
We're definitely getting invested in character development here. And, I'm not complaining whatsoever because we've had some really good episodes with that. We're kind of light on the action, to be honest. We had a couple of actiony ones, but most of the time, like the last episode especially, was there wasn't hardly any action in it at all. But I think they've done a great job. I mean, it really does remind me so much of Star Trek: The Next Generation, but a little bit different. Different enough to differentiate.
My biggest thing with the Orville right now is I'm still on the fence about this new security chief.
And you know what? They haven't shown a whole lot of her, really. So it's like they don't feel confident about her as a cast member.
The last 2 episodes, she was featured a little more prominently.
Yeah, but not as like a main character in the episode, more just a side piece.
Yeah, they have not. They've not focused an episode around her yet.
Yeah,
and I say yet because they seem to. It's a safe bet that half the episodes every season are going to focus around one character.
Yeah,
and one of their storylines, which is good if the characters are good, and so far, characters are good. I did like that Norm Macdonald actually made a cameo.
yeah, I did. I like that too. I'm like, oh, we get to see Norm.
Yes,
so,
we've heard him.
Yep,
because he does the voice of Yaphet, but we actually saw him.
Yeah,
which I thought was cool. I did see there were some announcements regarding cancellations and renewals, and I have to say some of them surprised me. I did not think New Amsterdam was going to get renewed, and it did. I was a little surprised by that. The Masked Singer, I'm surprised, got renewed. This show pisses me off no end.
We have not talked about it.
I haven't had any interest whatsoever.
Oh, it's been fun.
No, it's just,
especially the ones that are just blatantly. Oh yeah, everybody knows who the Peacock is. It was not even close.
It's just not on my radar.
Wait, did they wait, the Peacock?
Yeah, the Peacock.
They revealed the Peacock?
No, but everybody knows who the Peacock is. It's Donny Osmond. It's definitely Donny Osmond. There's nobody else in. I mean, that and the fact that his sister accidentally outed it is a fact.
Yeah. Or did she?
I did like that Green Arrow, The Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow have been renewed already.
As was Supergirl.
I can quickly go through the list here.
Yep, Supergirl.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Say a million.
That one shocked me as well.
Yeah.
I cannot believe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got renewed.
I don't know.
I really can't.
Other than it's ABC, it's Disney, they own it. They want it to keep going. I don't know.
I think they're planning on a boost after Infinity War.
Now, let me ask you: Did they work Infinity War into the plot lines or into the show arc?
No, it hasn't. No, because they've been off. They've been between seasons.
They're also purposely keeping that out of the storyline
for now.
Let's see. Criminal Minds has been renewed, canceled, meaning it's been renewed for exactly one more season and then it's gone. Elementary has been canceled. Happy Together has been canceled.
God Friended Me has been renewed.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
I haven't watched anything after like the second episode. I've got it recording. I just haven't had a chance to go through it.
Renewed.
The Neighborhood was renewed.
What was that one?
The Neighborhood?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Echoed in my head. Let's see. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend canceled.
Has the Cool Kids been renewed yet? Because that's great.
It is likely renewed.
Okay, because that's been a great show.
Yeah, this last episode was. I thought this last episode was hysterical.
I don't know that I've seen the most recent one.
I guess Brooklyn Nine-Nine is doing well. It's likely renewed.
Nope, I have not seen the last episode.
Actually, New Amsterdam is still marked as likely renewed, so it's not that surprising at all, I guess.
Let me go. Believe it or not, TwoFab, which is a spin-off for a sister site of TMZ. They actually have been pretty good about updating stuff here. Let's see, Van Helsing. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I have not watched that yet, but I guess it's been renewed for 2 more seasons. The Good Place was renewed.
Oh, yeah. I have a feeling The Good Place is going to finish out its entire, I think it was 6, it's either 5 or 6 seasons that they have planned for that. And it's still the best show on television.
Timeless, we know, was canceled. There was something else here. Krypton has been renewed for season 2. I have not watched season 1. Still can't believe that. Lost in Space season 2. Oh, Travelers was canceled.
Travelers was canceled. I haven't watched the latest one.
So season 3 is the final season of Travelers.
Huh.
That's the one that I forgot. Because I know you watched. We've talked about that show.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll get another season of Dharma and Greg.
Walking Dead was renewed for a 10th season. Here we go. Legion is ending. Yes. Travelers canceled. Riverdale was renewed. Flash renewed. Supernatural renewed. Legacies renewed. Dynasty renewed. Charmed reboot has been renewed for a 2nd season. Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, Black Lightning, Arrow.
Yeah.
Fuller House is going to have 1 more season and then they're done. Thank God. Masked Singer renewed for season 2. God Friended Me renewed. FBI has been renewed for a 2nd season. The Neighborhood is 2nd. Magnum PI has been renewed.
Yeah, I knew that had already been renewed.
Magicians was renewed for a 5th season. And what else we got here?
That's pretty much it. Will probably be renewed, but they did lose one of the stars last week.
What do we mean? Like
one of the
somebody
stars
died
or left the show.
Oh, left the show.
Okay, it made the way you said it made it seem like somebody died.
No, in fact, they didn't. They did not kill the character, so Jack Dalton could return. But
is it like a young Jack Dalton, or is it like the original Jack Dalton?
It's George Eads, was playing Jack Dalton on the current MacGyver show, which has nothing to do with the original MacGyver show, as far as we know.
Okay, so it's crap.
Yeah, we've seen MacGyver's father within this new show, but we've never seen the grandfather, which people think is probably because they're leaving the grandfather open in case they could ever get the original MacGyver to come back and be the grandfather.
All right, so there's a question
about Manifest.
That's probably. Let me see.
I gotta be honest with you. I fell off of Manifest. I can't do it. The other show that I watched. Okay, the other show that I watched, Vikings, just finished season 5, and they announced that season 6 will be the final season.
See, U.S. shows should do this more, of saying this is how long this show should be, and when you get to the end of it, it's done. Like NCIS really needs to end.
While I don't like seeing shows that I watch get canceled, I do like when they're canceled with notice.
Yeah.
Right? So you can do a proper ending.
Yeah.
Like, Timeless. Okay, Timeless is probably the most recent example. It was canceled, and they did not. They're shopping around to try and do a 2-hour movie to tie everything up. eBay? What?
eBay. Yep. Somebody got an eBay win.
No, not a win. An alert of some kind.
Oh, you got outbid. Quick,
Nope.
bid more.
No, this is what happens when I turn on. I let eBay give me notifications. No, it's a hot deal item from eBay.
Hot deals.
And it is. Let me see if you guys can see it. Nope.
The white screen with 2 dark spots.
It is a Spigen Apple Watch / iPhone bamboo charging dock station stand cradle.
Oh, look
That's
at that.
a mouthful. Fast and free shipping. Buy it now for only $9.99.
Ooh.
Well, see, here's the I know neither of you have Apple Watches, right?
No, but I got a tick watch.
Yeah, you got a tick watch. So here's the annoying thing about these Apple Watches, okay? Everybody is making stands for charging your Apple Watch, okay?
Yep.
None of them can actually charge an Apple Watch. They're just stands. You have to get the cable to charge the watch separately from usually Apple itself, and then stick it inside the little stand. So every time it's like, ooh, $9.99, that'd be really. Oh no, it's just a piece of plastic. It doesn't actually charge anything.
Yeah, there's I guess there's a little disc that you put in. Yeah.
The little charging disc, which costs
$20.
Let's see, Apple Watch charger. I actually have a battery one that has the charger built in the side. It was a deal. There we go. Apple Watch charging cable. Ooh, I've got some cheap ones now. But an official one from Apple is $30.
Yeah, look, between eBay and Zulily, I bought a bunch of stuff on Zulily in like October for the intention of giving them as Christmas gifts. And some of the stuff arrived like 2 weeks before Christmas, which is fine. I had one item that did not ship, and it wasn't even supposed to be a gift. It was it's called the Ring of Fire card game, which basically was a drinking game. And didn't ship. It was only a $7 item. Zulily gave me a $10 credit. I'm now on Zulily every day looking for something to spend this freaking $10 credit on.
Yep.
Can't find nothing. I ain't buying any more T-shirts. Look, I got T-shirts that I don't know what to do with at this point. And if I thought some of them might fit our winner of the Boxo randomness, they'd be going in there. One of them may actually already be going in there, but that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
Stupid Zulily. So all right, so while we're talking about stupid merchandise, can we put on our tinfoil hats for a second?
Of course.
Because the president or CEO of Vizio, in an interview, made a statement that they would have to charge the public more for a non-smart TV to make up for the money they lose by not spying on you.
Yeah, I think they need to qualify the words spying on you. So it says here, it's not just about data collection, it's about post-purchase monetization of the TV. When it comes to dumb TVs, we collect a little bit more margin at retail to offset it.
Yeah, it's less the spying and more the we're getting paid by Netflix and Vudu and Hulu and iHeartRadio and YouTube. Well, probably not YouTube, but they're getting a cut from all those different services on the TV.
So the idea is when you activate a service and you register it, by registering it, they know what device is registering, and they pay a commission basically to that manufacturer for you signing up for that monthly service.
Right. And it's something that since the TV, especially Vizio TVs, get updated for a decade, then they can continuously add new services that keep getting commissions, even as the new hotness changes.
And Vizio is one of those brands that's at a price point where it's got mass market appeal because it's affordable. All right, you can buy a 4K 55-inch, 65-inch Vizio TV for the price of a 37-inch, Toshiba.
Now, I will say that when I was shopping at BJ's last week, they had a Samsung 55-inch 4K smart TV. It was a 6 series, so it wasn't their bottom end, but it wasn't the top end, for $400.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
The Vizios were not that much cheaper. What Vizio did is they were the first mass-marketed budget brand that was still of a decent quality.
Yeah.
Now they have moved up. They're kind of like what I call upper middle class. Because now you have companies like TCL and Hisense.
And Westinghouse.
Westinghouse. Well, Westinghouse is definitely a budget brand, but
yeah.
And one of them was like Hawaii or something. I think they actually bought Toshiba, so they could just be named Toshiba now.
Yeah, Huawei or something.
Yeah,
like
Huawei.
Like yeah.
Oh, you mean the cell phones that are pretty much banned?
Who bought Toshiba?
I remember, who was it? Justin Long did a Huawei commercial a couple Super Bowls ago. And then all of a sudden, because they were a Chinese company, everybody was like, "Oh, wait a minute, their cell phones are spying on us," and you don't see anybody selling Huawei phones anymore.
Yeah, except for they also have some of the best tech that's in phones. Like the Huawei Mate 20 just made the news today because it's got like 6 cameras on the back.
Yeah.
You know, and it's boasts, I think, 8 gigs of RAM.
It was Hisense. So the Hisense has changed their name to Toshiba for TVs. Which is, see, my parents own, because last year during Black Friday, they got a Toshiba Amazon Fire TV. So it's the TV that has the Fire TV built into it. Which means that every time they want to watch some TV on it, they do streaming, but they do have to reboot the TV first because it needs to be rebooted every time. Otherwise, all the apps stop working. So we've learned the correct button sequence. You hold down 2 buttons on the remote for 6 seconds or so, and then the TV reboots. The funniest thing was it was playing. There's some TV show streaming in the background, and we turned the TV off, so the screen was off, but the sound was still going on.
Yeah,
it's very weird.
Yeah, I mean, you go with other cheap brands like Dynex is the Best Buy, cheap brand.
Well, and Insignia is like the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the flip side to that are these Roku TVs.
Yeah. Which have their own downsides
because they don't have actual tuners in them.
Well, no. Well, some of them do. It depends. It depends on the TV. You can get some with an actual tuner in it. At least you used to. I don't know about the current models. But, the question is, well, you can get over-the-air tuners in them. But, because they are made for cord cutters. I mean, that's the cord cutter TV.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the whole market that they are going after. But the issue that I have with those is I had one where, like, the built-in, because it's wireless only, the one that we had. Well, the wireless would go out, and so every, week you'd have to unplug it, plug it back in to reset the wireless, because there was no other way to fix it.
Yeah.
And so, if that had happened with an external Roku box, I could just replace the Roku box and be done with it. That is, that's the same problem that we used to have with all-in-one component, stereo systems. With the TV VCR combos, it's the whole thing is when you throw everything inside the TV, now something breaks and you're screwed. You just lost all your money. All right, you got to buy it anew. So that's why people tend to buy the cheaper stuff, because they know it's built to break.
Well, and look, you get a smart TV. If some reason the apps aren't working well, you could still plug a Fire Stick in. You could still plug a Roku in.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. But the built-in, and it's sad because I think LG didn't they buy the WebOS architecture from Palmer HP, whoever the
they might
was?
have, but I
thought they were planning on using it for their TVs, which I may be one of the only people in the world that thought WebOS was good.
Well, it's still content on their website, so they're still active with the product.
Problem is, I will not buy anything LG if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm one of those people.
Now the TVs are coming with basically Android baked in.
Yeah.
Because, it's a modern OS. You're just installing apps. So it's easy for the manufacturers to get a hold of it, to tweak it the way they need it to, and to throw it into a TV.
All right, so when you're watching TV,
yep,
a lot of times you want to snack on something.
Mm-hmm.
Shaggy, you shared an article that you seem somewhat passionate about.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
So this topic comes up every once in a while, and I hate that so many people get it wrong so easily. The question is, what is the best frozen pizza? Now, specifically, we are talking about frozen pizza, okay?
And we're keeping to national brands.
National brands, so not like here we have a Butch's Pizza that you can go and buy, and we're not talking about take and bakes, okay? So not like Papa Murphy's or anything. Nope, we're talking frozen pizzas. Go to your local Walmart, Target, grocery store, whatever. Grab them out of the freezer section, take them home, throw them in the oven on a pizza stone, because we're not Neanderthals, and boom, you're good to go.
No.
Unless
I throw it right on the rack.
now, see, I have a different philosophy on this. So my wife says because I used to put it on the rack, but then I decided I like more chew to my crust, and so I'll put it on a cold pizza stone. So I put it on the pizza stone, and then put the pizza stone in with the pizza on it once the oven's heated up. Okay. Now my wife will actually keep the pizza stone in there while the oven's preheating,
The way it's supposed to be used, yes.
and then slide the pizza on top of it.
Because the way you did it, it keeps the crust from cooking, because the pizza stone is going to take a long, long time. So, but that's what you want.
I want it
chewy.
uncooked. I want a chewy crust. Trust me, it's cooked. It's got a light brown bottom on it.
I like my pizzas. It hasn't burned yet. That's how I like my pizza. It has not burned yet. That's where I like it.
Because, see, I like, I don't like a crunchy crust. All right? So what I do is I cook it for about 12 minutes like that. Then I throw the broiler on, because obviously the cheese hasn't melted yet.
Yeah.
And that goes for about 2.5 minutes. Just enough to melt the cheese, maybe get it a little brown. Then the pizza comes out, it goes on the cardboard, it goes in the freezer for a few seconds.
So just for the context, Mike, since you would not know this, When I met Shaggy for the first time, he had a convenience store style pizza cooker.
I still have it. I just need a dedicated circuit for it. My dad used to work at a grocery store. It's a chain, Kroger's. Okay, the local ones here closed down. But before they kicked everybody out of the building for the last time, a few things went missing. All right? So
That's a nice way to put it. Okay.
So a few things jumped out of the back door, some butcher knives from the deli section, and 2 of the Tombstone pizza ovens. All right? That like they used to use for samples, right? These are just electric pizza cookers, and they are the best thing ever as long as you have a dedicated circuit, because these things pull about 18 amps. So, but all it is a electrical wire underneath the little grate that you put in and out, and those things will cook pizza. They'll cook pizza rolls. They'll cook chicken nuggets. I did Hot Pockets in there. You know, basically it was my toaster oven. All right, because it's the same thing, you know. And I figured out, hey, if I put aluminum foil on this grate, I don't have to worry about nothing falling through the holes. So, or cleanup, because it's a lot easier. And so, 12 minutes on that. This is pre-air fryer. So,
Okay.
But anyway,
All right,
so these are the 7 brands that they tried. So they tried Jack's, 365 DiGiorno, Screamin' Sicilian, Tombstone. I don't know what this other brand is.
California Pizza Kitchen.
Okay, and Red Baron. Okay, so
they didn't do the cheapest one. What's the name of that? What's the name of the cheapest brand?
Tony's.
Tony's, yeah.
So they did, or Totino's. Totino's is what it
that's
is.
It. Yeah.
Which is
Totino's that you can get for 50 cents, a personal one for 50 cents at ShopRite.
Yeah, it's basically a saltine with a little bit of ketchup on it is all it is.
Tortilla.
Yeah. So California Kitchen Signature Pepperoni, a Jack's Pepperoni, a Tombstone Original Pepperoni, Red Baron Classic Crust, a Screamin' Sicilian Holy Pepperoni, a DiGiorno Original Rising Crust Pepperoni, and a Whole Foods 365 Everyday Value Thin Crust Pepperoni Pizza. You shouldn't have that many words in your pizza. All right, so here's the takeaways. Pizzas are unpredictable. The results of this blind taste test were unveiled. Everyone was stunned. A premium brand at the bottom, a store brand at the top. Classic, budget, and choice brands mixed in the middle. There was no correlation between taste and price or brand recognition. This makes for an unpredictable pizza buying experience. It's all about the ratio. Pizza after pizza, one piece of judging criteria became critical: the ratio of crust to sauce to cheese to toppings. When it came to the lowest scoring pizzas, the too thin crust was an issue for the testers. How could a cracker support all the other ingredients? When it came to DiGiorno, our number 2 pick, the lack of cheese and sauce is what cost them the crown. That and their crap. It's not the real deal, although we definitely found some new favorite brands for busy nights. We all agreed that none of these pies lived up to our perfect pizza expectations. Anyway you slice it, frozen pizza is a frozen pizza, and it will never taste like delivery. You're right, sometimes it's better. Next, check out these healthy pizza toppings. Screw you. I'm not eating pizza to be healthy.
Well, here's my biggest complaint.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we're surprised that a store brand won first place. Store brand? Whole Foods.
Yeah.
That's not store brand. That's Amazon style premium. Yeah. Probably costs more than the rest of the pizzas combined.
Yeah. So here are the rankings. It was California Kitchen in last, Jack's Pepperoni next, Tombstone in 5th place out of 7th with this just highway robbery. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Obviously, these people are idiots. Red Baron Classic in 4th. Screaming Sicilian in 3rd, DiGiorno in 2nd, Whole Foods in 1st, those hippies. So, they just don't know what the hell they're talking about. Their complaints against the world's best pizza, the Tombstone, was that it's nothing special. Scoring 5th in the test was a classic Tombstone. The pizza looked a little more substantial than our lower ranked slices, and it had the perfect sauce to crust ratio, but the thick crust was almost too thick. That's because you cooked it wrong, you idiots.
First of all,
compared it to chunky cardboard. Well, take the bottom out of it before you eat it. The pepperoni, which had a distinctive caraway flavor, left us longing for even more spice. If you're bored of pepperoni, here are 11. No.
Yeah,
The problem is you get the deluxe. Who
here's
eats just a pepperoni pizza?
Who the hell cuts a pizza the way they cut it? You don't cut a pizza so that there's a square in the middle.
No.
That's for next show. I found a much better list. For one thing, it's a better site. For another, they actually have.
Do they have Tombstone ranked first? Because that's all that matters.
They have 27 different pizzas, and they even have lean cuisine in there.
Ugh.
Now listen, there's still a special place in my heart for Elio's rectangle pizza, the 3 slices that you hit against the counter to break them apart, the 3 square rectangle. There's still a place in my heart for those, and they fit in an air fryer most excellently.
So I can't find a pizza that'll fit in an air fryer, and I've got a large air fryer.
The Red Baron Personal deep dish will.
Okay.
The problem, though, Shaggy, is you're gonna have to start it in the air fryer and then nuke it for like a minute and a half because the inside actually does not cook in the air fryer.
Now, I have been told calzones and Hot Pockets very good in an air fryer.
Hot Pockets are phenomenal in an air fryer. 370 for 12 minutes.
12 minutes?
Right from the freezer.
Okay.
They are phenomenal.
I just had pizza rolls for lunch today from there. So
last night for the game, we had pepper jack stuffed pretzel nuggets and toasted ravioli for dinner.
So
toasted ravioli sounds good.
So this longer list has, out of all of these, as you can see, Whole Foods 365, 27th place.
Okay, good. That's where it belongs. At the end.
But that is not the funniest thing.
The Tombstone in 24th. They are... What?
Okay, Tombstone was in 24th. Totino's Party Pizza is in 19th. They put Totino's Party Pizza as being better than your favorite there, Shaggy.
Frozen pizza gets a
No, Celeste Pizza for one higher. Oh, my God.
These people don't know what the hell they're talking about.
The best one apparently is Home Run.
Jack's is higher. No, Jack's is for poverty people.
Oh, Mamakazi. Okay, that's Aldi. I like those. Newman's Own. Okay, look, if you put uncured pepperoni on anything, no. Just no.
I like uncured pepperoni. And uncured hot dogs are great, too.
Freschetta? No. There's another one. Outsiders Milwaukee style pepperoni. Look at the way they have this cut. Again, you got a middle piece that has no crust. That's
There are a couple of places here that do the square cut, and my wife loves the little corner pieces. That's the only thing that, you know, she enjoys those.
Home Run Inn. I've never heard of Home Run Inn.
That's a Chicago area pizza place. I guess has started making frozen pizzas.
No,
but it's not Chicago. It's not deep dish. It isn't Uno's.
Chicago. You mean tomato casserole?
It's more of a bread casserole with, you know.
Oh, okay. All right. Speaking of casseroles, I'm going to tell a personal story here. So
That's an intro I've never heard before.
I was gone. Oh my God. This is another internet illiterate person, so I don't have to worry about it getting back to him. So I was gone all day Saturday, day and night, and then Sunday we decided to go down to St. Louis and see the family, and you know, I had already decided with them, hey, we'll go out to have an early dinner once we get done visiting. Great. No problem. So we get there, and my aunt is like, oh, we don't have to go to dinner. I cooked. We can just eat when we come back. Oh, yippee. More casseroles. Because that's all she knows how to make. So, now, Colin knows I'm kind of a picky eater. So here's what was on the menu. Deviled eggs. Can't stand. Cheesy potato casserole. Hate it. And then, so here, I'll give you the recipe because I have no idea what the hell you call this. All right, so it was unbreaded chicken strips, cream of mushroom soup, of course, and then stuffing mix made into a casserole. All right, that was the only thing that I ate. Oh, and carrots. So I had the chicken crap and the carrots, and then my wife when we were leaving, my wife goes, "You didn't eat very much, did you?" No, I didn't. She goes, "I really wish your aunt wouldn't cook." I said, "Well, good for us. She doesn't know how to. Bad for us. She tries." My wife goes, "I was really looking forward to going out to eat." I'm like, "Yeah, you have no idea how much I was looking forward to going out to eat because there was nothing in there that I wanted to eat." So, yeah, no. Just because we live in the Midwest doesn't mean that all we have to eat is casseroles.
Yeah, see, my family...
Break the stereotype.
We don't eat many casseroles. In fact, there are two casseroles. There is Mr. Dell's hash brown casserole, which is amazing. And there's the occasional green bean casserole because that's just tradition. That's about it. We don't really do any other casseroles.
There's a time and a place for the casserole, but it can't be the main dish.
No.
Let alone several of them.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Dell's is a good breakfast dish. That could be a main dish for breakfast, but not...
Well, now, breakfast casseroles, that's a whole different story.
Yeah. Breakfast is that is casserole territory there. So let's talk about something even worse than your aunt's cooking.
Okay. It's time to get into movie review,
It's time to get into movie review.
God.
It's time to get into movie review. All right, and I think we might end up with a difference of opinion tonight, which is always good for us. So we had two movies on tonight's docket, as we do every show. And I know we were all late in watching them.
No, I had mine all watched. I was like, if these bastards tap out and switch it up, I'm going to be very mad.
I was never going to have a switch up.
So we watched. These are both available on Amazon Prime Video. Bleeding Steel and Stark Raving Mad. I think we should start with Bleeding Steel first.
Okay.
Because I just have a feeling.
I've got a feeling.
Yeah, down in my bones. So I did not have a chance to write up my review, so I'll just give a quick overview here. So Bleeding Steel is yet another Jackie Chan movie for us, which we had Skip Trace, great Jackie Chan movie that we covered. All right. And last show we had a English dubbed movie that we all kind of enjoyed. And we all kind of said, the English dub kind of just fell away into the ether after a while, and you just didn't notice it anymore. Funny enough, I didn't put this one on the list, but I have a feeling that this also was actually an English dub movie, because there is no way that the lips and the words went together in this movie the way that I was watching it. So either I have a horrible internet connection, or this is a Japanese, Chinese, Asian movie that they overdubbed for English-speaking people, because there was many a times in here where I went, "Oh, this is bad Japanese movie, like, whose line is it anyway type stuff going on here."
Godzilla!
Yeah.
We must run away!
So Oh, that's weird.
That didn't quite work.
Okay, that's even worse.
Ah! He broke it. He broke it. He broke it.
So there, that's better. So that's weird.
Try it again.
How the hell did that work? How the hell is that? I don't even know how that's working now. Now I got two of me. Yay! Love me. Love me. Oh, there it is. Now it's back.
I love me, and I love myself, and I don't need anybody else. Hey!
I don't know how that.
Go on.
I don't even know how that happened. Anyway, I was, as I was saying, so that started off really bothering me. Also, the thing that bothered me was this really looked like the movie The Last Jedi when it started. That really started to bother me that we had these stormtroopers coming in and just blasting everybody away. So between the mixture of Star Wars and bad Chinese overdub, I couldn't stay excited about this movie, especially when you mix in horrible RoboCop overtones, and it just was really weird. So I'm really gonna give this one a puke because I just couldn't stay focused at all. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad.
Okay.
Yep. Colin.
So after 24 years,
Let's see if I can do that.
we have finally gotten what people wanted, which was a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie with Jackie Chan in it. As that's best description of this movie. All of the bad guys look like that they got their costumes from Power Rangers, and you're watching this going, why is nobody freaking out that there's Power Rangers bad guys running around Sydney, Australia? There's one great thing about this movie, and that is I got to see what it really looks like on top of Sydney's Opera House, because that was cool. The rest of this movie is absolutely terrible. It is. Do not watch this movie. It is. It's not quite puke. It is definitely
Verp.
Ooh, sure. It's halfway. But so this movie has Jackie Chan playing a cop who misses his daughter's death in a hospital because his boss told him to go and be a cop somewhere else. I just no. I don't think that works. You do not want a emotionally broken man being sent out to keep someone from dying as a policeman. That does not work. And then he beats up on some Power Rangers, bad guys, and then uses basically turns his daughter into a Power Ranger, and I guess in the end he turned himself into a Power Ranger. That didn't make any sense in the end, but because he got a touch of the blood of the bad guy, he became a Power Ranger. I watched this entire movie, and still did not make any sense. What really doesn't make any sense is how expensive this movie was. I think it was like $65 million was spent on this movie. I don't know why. I certainly didn't see it in the movie, but I do thank them for showing me the roof of the Sydney Opera House. That was really cool.
All right, Mike, you're up next.
Okay. So, yeah, dubbed movie. Okay. At least the dubbing doesn't sound like a video game. I'm not trying to figure out what episode of Metal Gear these people spoke in. Jackie Chan driving, trying to get to the hospital. He's yelling, "Move! Move!" Works better if you honk your horn. Just saying. The bad guys from Tron. See, you guys went Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I thought Tron Tron 2 to be more specific, all showed up. And they teamed up with the bad vampire from Blade 2. I just want to point out something, that when women fight in movies, like fist fight, and they do that scorpion kick thing where they kick backwards and catch the guy's head this way, that is one of my most favorite fight moves to see. Don't know why, and I don't know why I felt the need to tell you this, but I did. During the dance scene, my first thought, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, Shaggy, settle down. And when we find out that the dancer is actually a dude, I'm like, okay, Shaggy, continue. I was getting ready to say, the guy got hit in the head with the bat. Maybe the bat was a wiffle ball bat. But then he turns around, feels his head, and then passes out. Okay. During the whole fight scene at the Sydney Opera House, the most unbelievable thing was the patio umbrella. Jackie Chan slides off the roof of the Sydney Opera House and lands on this umbrella, and it just closes ever so gently, and he walks away. I don't know what kind of umbrella that is. Maybe it's exclusive to Australia, but I need one. Because that thing is like a portable meteor shelter, if we just in case we ever come to that. Just want to say, for the record, officially, the motor oil in the street gag is the absolute dumbest thing we have ever seen in a movie that we have reviewed. Now, we move on to the Star Destroyer. What did I miss?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cross between Star Wars and The Matrix. I don't like either one right now. They have no business being in this movie at all. Jackie grows an arm back in 20 seconds. So now we've got, let's just recap here. We've got Tron 2, Blade 2, Mission Impossible with the rope and Opera House thing, Star Wars with the Star Destroyer, The Matrix, and now we got Deadpool. And the ending of this movie has me just beyond confused. This is the first ending of 2019. I'm going to give this a verb. I wanted to like this movie. I really, truly did. But I feel like it jumped the shark when the Star Destroyer showed up. And that left me scratching my head as to what in the hell actually just happened.
Yep. All right, so a puke and two verps is what this movie got. Now, moving on to what I believe will be another controversial movie. Stark Raving Mad, starring Sean William Scott, is in the... He's one of the primaries in this movie. A crook quietly plots his revenge against the boss who murdered his brother while working for him. So that synopsis actually gives a lot of this movie away. So thank you, IMDb, for ruining everything in one sentence.
Push the button.
I can't push it. It doesn't work. There you go. There you go.
Hey!
So,
Dance puppet. I love this.
So anyway, so it's a I'm sure Colin will disagree with me on this. It is a heist movie. Okay? The whole idea, so this is kind of an interesting heist movie though for me, because it's got a couple of different elements in it. So it's got an element of Gone in 60 Seconds, where one brother has to assume another brother's debt. It's got an element of the movie Foolproof in it, where there's a side thing going on that nobody necessarily all knows, that they don't all know about. But the one thing that really irritated me about this movie was, and why I can't call it a caper movie, is because it wasn't capery enough. All right? The whole concept is that they're throwing this rave, and they have to keep the party going. They have to keep it loud in order to disable one of the alarms in the bank next door that they're breaking into. All right? Well, the issue that I have is that, there are things that come into there are problems that arise for this. All right? So one is the guy that they're renting the club from wants to shut him down. Well, instead of, what I thought he was going to do, like hire a hooker to go and take this guy away and have a good time for the night. No, he just bashes him on the head with a bottle, which I do think that was funny that the bottle didn't break the first time. Then he didn't get knocked out after it did break, and then he ended up punching him, and then he did escape from the room that he was tied in. And I mean, those things were nice changes to the general genre where you see everything go clean. But it was just, it would have been better had they made some different changes to it. And but they did throw you off your game a couple times, like when you thought there was going to be a breakdown in the relationship because one guy got the girl and the other guy didn't, and that they did a 180. And when you thought that the FBI agents were there for something and it would turn out to be something else, but then it played into something, then you're like, okay, how is this all working out again? But then at the end it does come out true, which is why it does make for a good heist movie. It does kind of keep you on your toes a little bit. So those are the elements that I liked about it. Colin's going to say, oh, this was transparent. He saw it coming a mile away, but I didn't, probably because I was out of my mind tired, and so I couldn't keep up with it necessarily. But like I said, there were definitely some issues with it that I had because it wasn't sneaky enough, okay? There weren't enough little elements that made it like a classic con job, all right? It was very messy. I would have liked it if it would have been cleaner and nobody would have known until it played out at the end. But anyway, so all in all, I will give this one a smirk, I think. Because overall, I did like it. I don't know that I'll necessarily watch it again, but I did overall enjoy it. All right, Colin, your turn to totally bash the movie now.
Okay. So, two important things to remind for those who aren't aware. One, I love dance music. I listen to dance music a lot at work. It is my usual thing to listen to because I don't really need words. I just need, the part of the brain listening to music shuts off, and then the other part can just get through and do work. And push the button. There we go. All right. He gets the buttons, he forgets the button. So I listen to a lot of dance music. The other thing is I love heist movies. In fact, Heist itself is one of my absolute favorite movies. I've grown up being given a diet of heist movies. So you would think a combination of dance music and a heist movie would be a good thing. The problem is that the dance music is terrible and relentless and does not stop. And the heist movie is terrible. But more importantly, the heist movie is getting broken up by meaningless dance movie scenes. So it makes the movie entirely too long. I was very close. After like an hour of the movie, I'm almost unable to keep going. And then I look at the time and I see there's still another 40 minutes left of this crap. And I had to turn it off and finish it the following day. Because it was giving me a headache with the constant droning dance music that just would not stop. It's just do 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 for 2 hours of do 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 do. So as far as the heist movie goes, they're in Chinatown but it's Neil Diamond Phillips with white hair is the bad guy, and he keeps interrupting the people who are trying to do the heist. So, one thing that you do when you're trying to do a heist, right, is you keep everything well timed and you're doing through stuff. But if you keep getting interrupted by the bad guy who makes you go across the street to the bar he's at to say, "How's it going?" "It's still going well." "Okay." What? Why? I mean, it's just people are getting hurt. People are getting drugged. There's underage, overage. There's some FBI people who are stupid, played by Dave Foley and some other guy that I've seen other stuff. And just my computer ran out of power, so I can't look that up anymore. Oh, the problem with the heist part of this movie. Oh, I forgot. So everything in this movie was like, it felt like a bad Tarantino movie. I was just watching this going, wow, it's like they try to do a Tarantino movie because they like Tarantino movies. And then I looked it up and I found out it was produced by Tarantino and directed by a guy who's best known for creating a children's book called The Day the Crayons Quit and its sequel, The Day the Crayons Came Home. So it's a Tarantino-produced dance heist movie directed and written by someone who writes children's books. Yay? No. No yay. In fact, this is my absolute first Kill It With Fire. Wow. This movie was terrible and just about did me in. Yeah, he does other stuff too. But if you look at not Kevin Smith, Drew Daywalt. Apparently, there's a separation here between Wikipedia and.
He played the other FBI agent, though.
Oh no! I'm talking about the director. Sorry, I thought you were telling me the director has done more than.
Oh no!
Write a children's book.
No, you were talking about the other FBI agent.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, unbigify. There we go. Different bigify.
Okay. I have a very terrible feeling about this movie before I even hit play. Because I went to IMDb and I looked at the trivia. There are only 4 items. One of them's about a dildo. I don't know how it's not going to get any better, folks. The coolest thing about this movie was the DJ booth that looked like a giant Lego wall. And I immediately went to Amazon to try and find one because I want one. This is going to sound extremely racist. But Lou Diamond Phillips is the Mexican Raiden from Mortal Kombat in this movie. The white hair, I'm digging it. I am secretly hoping to see his eyes glow with lightning or something. I want someone to explain to me how the guy heard the music that the other heist guy played over the concrete hammer drill so that he could stop and yell at him, despite the fact they're on a timetable. Lou Diamond Phillips' character mentions that he had a cat growing up and he drowned it in the sink. Now, I hope this character dies. I seriously hope that the transvestites, cross-dressers, whatever, have their way with him and nut in his hair so that the lights in the club will make his hair glow while he's dead. I figured Kitten was underage, but I was not expecting the whole daddy part of the story. Not cool. And Dave Foley does not make a good tough guy at all. He should stick to the gay best friend like he played in Blast from the Past. This movie gets a verb from me. Not it. it would have gotten slightly higher. But the camera work with the jump frames, I had to stop.
I didn't know if my internet connection was flaking out or if it was the camera work.
I had to stop. I rebooted, came back after lunch, started watching again in a different browser just to make sure.
Mm.
Who the hell thinks that's cool?
Yeah,
look,
I agree.
I'm drinking Windex because of it now. Trying to clean the memory of this movie from my head. I can't give it a puke because there were some scenes that I thought were funny. But funny like, okay, I'll go to YouTube and watch that clip so I don't have to sit through the other hour and 20 minutes of crap. Just don't watch this movie. Don't. This movie kept appearing in my suggested list for a long time. So when it came up, I wanted to be excited. Then I read the trivia. I knew it was going to be a problem.
Well, you'll be happy to know that after he made this, he went on to make movies that that I like. He made Bulletproof Monk.
Okay.
I enjoyed that one. He made American Wedding. I like that one. He made The Rundown.
Okay.
I like that one. He made The Dukes of Hazzard. I enjoyed that one. I'm probably the only person who enjoyed that one.
Best scene from Dukes of Hazzard. This was supposed to be my time. While he's driving through the streets of Atlanta, not even looking at the road and not hitting a single thing. That's the best part of the whole movie.
Then he was in Ice Age, the video game, a movie, another Ice Age. He was in Goon after that.
Cop Out was after that, right?
Cop Out was after that. Goon, American Reunion.
Yeah, if this movie has a redeeming factor, is that it's a really old movie.
Yeah. Now he has another one that I have downloaded that I want to watch, which is called Just Before I Go, which on the verge of giving up on life, a guy travels to his hometown to make amends. It looks funny.
Okay, I didn't.
Sounds like the movie inspiration of A Million Little Things.
So this is interesting. This movie cost $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Its box office was $54,028.
Oh, that's bad.
How many theaters was it released in?
Yeah, I gotta imagine
I have
it was
no idea.
Like one.
This is just listing on Wikipedia.
That's bad. So
what I do want to say is what they should have done is I'm going to send you this link real quick because it's related to a heist. There was an actual heist in Belgium.
Oh.
Apparently it was never released in the U.S. It was only released in Russia.
Okay. So 3 million people saw it and they made $54,000.
Yeah.
Police went to a bank in Antwerp's famed Diamond Center, found the vault doors still secured. It was only after they forced their way inside they realized the robbery had taken place. 30 empty deposit boxes, a hole in the floor, and a tunnel to the sewage system.
So I take it Mama Blair watched this movie as well?
She watched the first part.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
She
didn't finish it.
I stopped counting superfluous F-bombs at 56, and that was 3/4 of the way through. There's a time and place, but not every breath. Yeah, I agree. I did think I was sitting there watching this going, oh, I don't know if Mama Blair would like this.
And I'm sitting there watching and thinking, how much is Sean William Scott smoking?
Oh, yeah. Me too. I'm like, why? No, don't smoke for this. You don't need that to be bad.
All right, so let's pick our next movies.
All right.
We're up to 36.
36. 8.
All right, Colin, we're gonna need a vote on this one.
Okay.
Let me see if it's still available before I bring it up here. Yes, it is still available. I am number 4.
I haven't seen it.
Seems like an ordinary teenager, but he is an alien on the run from merciless enemies hunting him and the 8 others like him, always changing his identity and moving to different towns with his guardian, Henry. John has no real past and no true home. However, in the small Ohio town where he lives, he discovers love, powerful new abilities, and a connection to others of his kind.
I mean, it's another one of those. Hunger Games made a bunch of money. Let's make this other young adult thing, and then they only made one.
Took in $150 million at the box office.
Who was the director?
Director DJ Caruso.
Who was the producer?
I don't know that off the top of this. DJ Caruso also worked on Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, Eagle Eye, and Disturbia, along with Drop Zone, Point of No Return, Two for the Money.
Okay, the producer was Michael Bay.
Oh, he's Michael Bay. So what, you think it's too high profile?
I've seen this movie before.
Okay.
I've watched this movie a couple of times.
Do you think it's worth talking about? As someone who has seen it.
I think it's worth talking about, but I also think it's disqualified for being a real movie.
Yeah, but it's a real movie that's considered a bad movie.
Okay. This is going to be freaking cobbler, but go ahead.
It only got 32% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't really give a damn.
Okay. All right. Next one.
I mean, as long as it's a real movie that we could still sink our teeth into. It's like the biggest problem with Dolores.
Hello,
my name is Doris.
Doris. Hello, my name is Doris. It was a real movie in a genre I don't care about.
But it was also a Netflix only movie, so it's not like it was going to get box office press.
I know. I found myself going, I don't know how to review this. It's like I would pass on a straight horror movie.
Listen, I am just telling you right now. I see some movies on this list that if they come up, I'm going to veto right away. Go ahead.
All right, number 14.
Let's see. Is this still available? Hello? This is The Package. It's a Netflix original. So, yeah, it's still available.
And when 4 teenage friends go on a camping trip during... Oh, it's a brand new one. It's a relatively new one. It came out in August of 2018. Yeah. When the four teenage friends go on a camping trip during spring break, an unfortunate accident sets off a race against time to save one's most prized possession. Yes, this is most definitely a comedy. Yeah.
Well, it's produced by my least favorite person.
By Jake Szymanski?
No, that's...
Red Hour Productions?
No. Look at the producers.
Well, that's okay. Blake Anderson, Ben Stiller, Adam Devine.
Yeah, there you go, Adam Devine.
Okay, I thought you were going to say you hate Ben Stiller.
No, I love Ben Stiller. He's in one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes.
Over under on whether somebody is going to take up Adam Devine's mantle and show their balls. And
oh yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
Although the movie's called The Package.
I've seen the trailer for the movie. It's going to happen.
Oh Lord. This.
I've seen the trailer.
Wonderful.
All right.
Oh, squeaky clean.
All right, folks, you've been listening to another audio interesting episode of PTR Radio here on the Fabulous Interweb. We want to remind you that you can subscribe to our podcast feed via our website, ptrradio.com. We want you to do that so that you can always make sure that you get all the episodes and never miss one, along with all of our bonus content. Our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at PTR Radio. You can check those out as well. We are always posting stuff to those outlets so that you can see what we're doing when we're out and about. So you would have seen some pictures from the big trivia event that I was at. You would have seen stuff from Mike's events that he's been at. So make sure to follow us on that. We are growing, so that's good. We want to keep growing, and we need your help to do it. So our next episode right now is scheduled for the 18th. So February 18th is when we will be back. And, who knows? Before then, there might be more stuff on the podcast feed. So, all right. With that, I am beat. I don't know about you guys. But this has been a stressful show for me. So I don't have anything coming up for another month at least. I do have another event going on in March that I will talk about on the next show. So with that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I'm Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in this, folks. We are done. Later.